Good morning, all of you, and welcome to the news analysis of the 20th December 2023. The analysis of the Hindu newspaper we are making. The most important topic
Good evening.
for civil services
Good morning,
aspirants
all
is
of
the matter of our discussion. And after this analysis, you can download the PDF of the detailed news analysis in the description link, and you can take the daily news analysis exam in the description link of this video. The first news, we have already discussed this news related to Shahi Eidgah Mosque. And the Eidgah in that Shahi Eidgah Mosque dispute, we have already discussed the religious character of a place. And this news is related to Gyanvapi Mosque case. Then the matter is the Places of Worship Act 1991. Allahabad High Court has made a observation that the religious character of a place of worship can be decided only in the trial of a court, Allahabad High Court, because the High Court points that the 1991 Act has not defined the term the religious character. Then, although we have discussed earlier, as this news is repeatedly coming, I want to make a summary analysis of the Places of Worship Act 1991. It tells that whatever was the nature of a place of worship, whether it was a mosque, church, or temple, that will remain, it will be frozen based on the status of August 15, 1947. No litigation, it prohibits any legal proceedings from being instituted regarding the character of the place of worship. And a case, even filing a case and related to a challenging the position, the religious position, the religious character of a place of worship cannot be entertained. There were certain exemptions from this act. The exemptions are the act does not apply to ancient historical monuments and archaeological sites listed under Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act 1958. Again, the Act does not apply to any suit that has been finally settled or disposed of before the Act in 1991. Again, the Act does not apply to the dispute of Rama Janmabhoomi and Babari Masjid in Ayodhya. And other than this, any other places of worship or places of religion, the nature cannot be changed from whatever was the nature on August 15, 1947. Another important news, Netanyahu calls Modi to discuss the maritime threat in Red Sea. When the Israeli ships or any ships going to Israel, coming from Israel, passing through the Red Sea, were attacked by the Houthi tribe of Yemen recently in support of the Houthi tribe to the Hamas. Then what is the Red Sea? Red Sea, the nearly 2,000-kilometer Red Sea, connects the Mediterranean Sea with Indian Sea via the Suez Canal. Before the Suez Canal, and the transportation of ships from Asia to Europe had to go through the long route of the Cape of Good Hope. Like Vasco da Gama came to India to the Cape of Good Hope. That was the only way. After Suez Canal was constructed, after Suez Canal was constructed in 1869, the journey between or that sea route between Asia and Europe reduced by more than 11,000 kilometers. The distance of some 19,000 kilometers and has been reduced into some 7,000 something kilometers. About 12% of the global trade depends on Suez Canal, and the 5% is depending on the Panama Canal. We can see, we can understand that this was the Vasco da Gama came to India, taking this route from Europe, covering the entire Africa to the Cape of Good Hope. He reached to the Calicut city. Same way, if a ship is moving from Mumbai without Suez Canal, if there was no Suez Canal, we had to take this much long, 19,800 kilometer. Now see that that distance has been reduced into when we are going from Mumbai and through this gap. If you are going, this is the Red Sea, and through Red Sea, if you are going to Suez Canal, through Suez Canal, Mediterranean Sea, we can reach to the Europe quickly, only 11,600 kilometers. Near to 7,000, I made a mistake in the beginning, near to 7,000 kilometers got reduced by the for the transportation of the goods. Now the problem is that Yemen is attacking, and Yemeni Houthi tribe of Yemen, they are not accepted as official government. They are in a struggle and in a conflict with the official government of Yemen for last 10 years, but the capital, Sana'a, of the capital of Yemen is under the control of these Houthi tribes. Who are these Houthis? And the Houthi tribes, we can Houthi tribe, and that's PPT had a small missing. And Houthis are a Shia tribal community. Yazidi Shia tribal community is the Houthis. Then the Houthi tribal community, basically, and they are claiming that the power of the Yemen should be under the Shia people. Basically there is a Shia Sunni conflict also. Houthis are the allegation is that Houthis are supported by Iran and Saudi Arabia, which is a predominantly Sunni Salafi state that is against the Houthi tribal community. Houthis, in the present situation, they are supporting Hamas. Next one. Another important news is related to GST tribunal. Taxpayers can withdraw the court cases and approach the GST tribunal for the faster rulings. What is GST tribunal? These are quasi-judicial bodies. That is not a full judicial body, and they have the power to solve the disputes related to GST Act 2007. It was established by GST Act 2017, and with the aim to resolve the disputes arising from the implementation and interpretation of the GST law. The purpose of this organization that for the taxpayers can appeal against the orders issued by GST authorities on various matters. They can approach the GST tribunal. Structure of the tribunal, two types are there. One is the national bench. National bench is in Delhi that will hear the cases of appeal on the orders passed by the state level bench. We have 31 state level benches also. The powers of the GST tribunals are review and modify orders passed by GST authorities, pass interim orders for the stay of collection of tax or penalty, award cost to either party, refer questions of law related to GST to the Supreme Court are the powers of GST tribunal. Another important news related to the topic is alternative investment finance. Alternative investment fund. What is this AIF, Alternative Investment Fund? The news is related to RBI making more tight norms for the alternative investment fund. In the class of Indian economy, as I told you earlier, I am teaching Indian economy at Academy of Civil Services. Then in the class, we have discussed in detail regarding the venture capital, angel investment. All these are coming under alternative investment funds. These are the collection of pooled investment funds that infuse in venture capital. What is venture capital? I will discuss once again. Private equity, hedge funds, managed futures, and other types of investments. See, these matters, these concepts we have already discussed in the class. I will discuss once again today different categories of the alternative investment funds. The Securities and Exchange Board of India's Regulation Act 2012 defines an alternative fund as AIF and defines an alternative investment fund. AIFs can form as corporation, a trust, or a limited liability partnership. The money of alternative investment fund can be used by forming a corporation or a trust or limited liability partnership. You can see what are the types of. One is venture capital is an example of alternative investment fund. Venture capital means that the well-off investors, the well-off investors, the investors who don't want to get a return immediately, they are investing money in the potentially high growth startups. Mostly venture capital comes in the beginning of the investment or in the early stage of investment. The investors, lot of startups are there in India, and most of the startups in India are functioning with the investors' money. And that investment in the startup is known as venture capital fund. Infrastructure fund and giving the fund and or the money investing in the road and rail infrastructure, airport and communication asset, among other things, definitely is a new trend. Making private investment in the national highway and collecting the toll and getting the income afterwards. Then that is the infrastructure fund is also a type of alternative investment fund. And angel fund is same as venture capital, and a number of angel investors, the investors who are well off, they have too much money, they don't expect a return and invest in the early stage of firm, is known as the angel investment fund. Social venture fund, same venture fund we discuss, but this venture fund investors are investing in socially motivating investments like schools, colleges, universities, hospitals and medical colleges, etc. Next one, House panel doubts senders data on lumpy skin disease. For the exam point of view, we need to know what is this disease. This is a viral disease that affects the cattle and buffalo. It is caused by a virus and in the family of the poxviridae, and the virus is also known as needling virus. According to the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization, the lumpy skin disease is caused by a virus called as the Capri pox virus, and is an emerging threat to the livestock worldwide. It is generally called as the goat pox or the sheep pox virus family. It is not a zoonotic virus, that means it will not spread into the human beings. And it is a contagious vector-borne and disease spread by vectors like mosquitoes and some other big biting flies are the carriers, and they spread this disease from host animal to another animal. These are the important topics of the today's newspaper analysis. I'm stopping for today. As I told that in a brief, summarized way, in short time, lot of knowledge is the motto of Academy of Civil Services daily news analysis live YouTube video. Thank you for watching today. I will continue tomorrow, and most probably the fixed time we will fix it within this week. We will make a fixed time, most probably by 11:30 a.m. every day, and we will fix the time because of the multiple classes I have, and sometimes the timing changes here and there. But still, by this week, when the schedule of my classes will be ready, I will fix most probably 11:30 every day for this session. Thank you. And if you have anything to ask, you can ask in the YouTube live.